All right. But I got to go now. Yeah, we'll definitely have him on the show, or I'll play his panel discussion. Okay.
And I'll see if Tim and Diane will join us.
Okay, we'll see y'all.
Take care. Love you. Cricket time! It's cricket time. Mohammed.
So I'd like to welcome Mr. Atul Hukku from Edison Cricket Club, and he is also very active in the industry, especially in the cricket fraternity.
Is Ashton coming
I can hear a background music.
Who's playing? Who's playing music? Somebody's got music going, not me.
Somebody playing music.
So I think Atul has the music.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Hi, Mohammed. Yay, welcome. So, Atul, where are you at?
Pardon?
Where are you at? How are you doing today?
I'm in New Jersey. Edison,
Wow.
New Jersey.
How is it in New Jersey?
It's nice. It's a little cool today, and we're expecting a little snow tomorrow.
I told you, Kit. I told you. Yeah, this is unusual, isn't it?
But generally, I'll tell you.
Snow in May.
This is the cricket season in New Jersey, but fortunately, because of range and because of the lockdown, I think no one is playing. Atulji, what do you think?
Yeah, because of the lockdown, no permits have been issued so far to play cricket, and I think the cricket season for the year is over.
Wow.
And, what about the indoor practice? Is it still on, or is it, that is also off the records now?
Right now they're closed, so you can't even have cricket practice at this point in time.
I would also welcome Ashok.
Hello.
Hi, welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Nice to see you again.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Who's that?
Hello, hi, Ashok. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
So everyone's expecting snow, right?
Oh my gosh, May, second week of May, and we're still talking about snow. Yeah.
We have frost tonight. All of my garden, we're covering them up, the plants up and everything, because this is not good for our plants and everything. So
no, this is being specially done for Mother's Day, all the mothers.
Mother's Day, right? It's freezing for Mother's Day. Not a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
so I would like to ask Atulji. I mean, because we have viewers around the world, especially in US, they are not sure that how big is cricket in USA. So can you explain how big is the cricket in US?
Well, cricket in the United States, I would say there are over 1,000 cricket clubs. All of them playing cricket, but for a long time, the U.S. Cricket Association was not properly formed, but now the American Cricket Board has been formed with the help of ICC, and most of the games are going to be played based on ICC rules and regulations.
Excellent.
So you have basically most of the players are from South Asia, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. You have, if you go in the Midwest, you'll have people from Australia, New Zealand, all the Commonwealth countries, they're playing. And you have a few Americans also who have joined in. So it is getting very much organized now with ICC, because once the American Cricket Board was set up, they actually they had a bid for companies to come and bid for so that somebody could take care of the profit and loss for the American Cricket Board. And the Times of India, the Times Group, they won the bid, and they actually are putting in about $2 billion for cricket in the United States. They're getting stadiums built, turf wickets built, cricket academies. This year, they were supposed to launch the minor league, which has 24 teams across the country. But unfortunately, nature and COVID had a different story to tell. So that's been held up. Next year, if this would have happened this year, next year they would have had the 8 teams play. That would be the men's cricket, like an IPL sort of tournament.
Okay. And if I may ask, since how long you're playing NJ cricket or club cricket for New Jersey?
Ever since I landed in New Jersey, so 1999, I've been playing or being involved. Now I'm only involved. I don't play anymore. But yeah.
And also,
It's great to.
and for our non-cricketing nation, especially in US, there are a lot of people who don't know what is cricket. So what we can do on IBM TV to approach them or making a cricket a bigger game in non-cricketing nations as well as people who don't play cricket in the US? What do you think we should do?
No, now basically whoever wants to play cricket, they have to be registered with the Indian the American Cricket Board. And if you're not a member of the American Cricket Board, you cannot play or represent any team or league. So things are getting all very, very organized now. And thanks to ICC, which came here. I'm sure Ashok will also tell us a good story because he's been involved also sitting in Albany. He initially started cricket with Edison Cricket Club with us, but as he moved on to Albany now.
Yeah. So I think Ashok is having a problem with the connectivity. I'll make him join again. But before that, can you also let us know how many cricket clubs are there in America? Maybe a number, how many leagues or how many cricket clubs we have in US?
It's difficult to say, but I think it's close to 1,000. Close to 1,000.
So that's what I told you. I mean, there are thousands of leagues going around, thousands of cricket teams, and there are a lot of leagues. And I think I don't have the numbers, but there are a lot of players play cricket, mostly from South Asian countries. They go. I mean, they visit US and they start playing for these leagues. And I think Ashok can take us more about what's happening in US cricket. Ashok.
Well, I missed a part of the conversation, but the initial part, what I heard, definitely. I mean, with the new formation of USA Cricket with the backing of ICC, there seems to be a streamlined process now, and they're also trying to get a group of younger players get ready to fill those positions. And what I hear recently is about the 2028 Olympics. If cricket is going to be part of Olympics, that's going to be a big news for American cricket. So if that comes to reality, then the under 17, under 19 guys, whoever right now, that's going to be the future in the next 7-8 years. So that's what should be the aim realistically, and I think that's what the USA Cricket concentration is for now. Otherwise, there are a lot of grassroots level cricket. Of course, they're in pockets in dense areas only at this point. If you take example of New York, majority of the cricket is played in New York City, and then recently we have got the capital district has some cricket going on here. Otherwise, it was predominantly New York City-based cricket leagues. So slowly spreading outside the major cities, but still, like in any cricketing nation, I guess, majority of the cricket is played in the major cities to begin with.
And when we talk about cricket in US, do you think 2020 will take over those one days, or do you still think that US can be a good one-day team in coming future?
Well, like we all know, time is money and time is essence here. So T20 version probably better suited. If you go down to the school level, maybe something that can be completed within 45 minutes to 60-minute window. So they have to be innovative, definitely. I mean, the shorter formats are better. And then we see even the T10 leagues formed across the globe now. So it's going to be shorter and shorter. For traditional cricketing brains, it may sound like it's nowhere closer to a real cricket game. But yes, considering the time and demand, T20 should be the ideal format.
No, and also you have to keep in mind that if you want to promote the game in this country, generally speaking, Americans have a span of only 3.5 hours, like baseball. So if you want the Americans to get involved too and enjoy the game, you have to have 2020.
Yes.
And Atul, if we can compare NFL or NBA with cricket in US, because cricket is religion in India and especially in South Asia, and a lot of countries play cricket. But when we compare the two major economies, China and US, they are not the cricket playing nations. Although South Asians are playing cricket in US, but it's not still a major sport because people are, over and above talking about NFL and NBA, and they think that people across the world they follow NFL and NBA, but it's not the case in India. We even don't know the name of the NFL players, but we know the cricket players around the world. So, where do you see the cricket is growing and how we can compete with the NFL in a larger format? And also, I would like to mention that if you remember, the last World Cup is one of the most highest viewership sporting event in the world. But the lot of sporting nations don't know about it. That cricket is one of the most viewership, number of viewership in the world right now.
Actually, cricket is the second largest game viewed after soccer.
Yeah.
And like you said, a lot of countries don't know. The reason why cricket is viewed so much and the viewership is so high, because 1.3 billion Indians follow it.
Oh, you talking about all Ankids fans? Those are all Ankids fans too. 1.3 billion. Yeah, that's
so there you are.
We have 1.3 billion fans.
Apart from 1.3 billion in India, we have 300 million outside India as well.
Yes. But mind you, cricket was played in America.
Yeah.
When the colonization took place, most of the people at those times, they used to play cricket. And the first unofficial game between two countries was played in America, in New York City, between US and Canada. I think it was 1836, I'm not sure, but it was the 18th century. So,
1844.
1844, yeah. So,
yes.
And the United States has the oldest cricket museum in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And America has given a lot to cricket. I mean, we all talk about swing bowling.
Yeah.
It was developed in the United States.
Oh.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah, so there is a huge history of cricket. Cricket lost out because it was a very long game in those days. In those days, it was not a 5-day game. They would play 10 days, till 2 innings are over. And it was for the rich to play only. So
See, I
therefore,
always thought that too. I thought cricket was the rich man's game, just like chess.
it
I
was
thought
a rich man's game
chess was
in
a
those
brainy
days.
game. So
You're right. And so what happened was, since people could not play cricket, especially in the ghettos in Brooklyn and Bronx and all those places, they started playing rounders, which was again a bat and ball game. And because of space, they didn't have enough space to start playing rounders. And so baseball was born at that point of time. And they were playing, even then they had the rivalry between New York and Boston. If I remember correctly, New York used to play in a circle, Boston used to play in a square.
Oh.
And they couldn't decide how to play because they wanted to play each other. So while that argument was going on, New Jersey turned around and told them, "You come here, we have a diamond." And that's how the diamond stuck with baseball. So that's a little bit. I think cricket will pick up because, especially the game 2020, it's a fast game. I mean, I've gone to a lot of baseball games and all. Baseball is very slow. And it's the reason why it is slow. It is only because it's a pitcher's game.
Yeah.
Cricket, unfortunately, is a batter's game. And in a 2020 game, you will see the ball fly all the time. Every couple of minutes, the ball is hit out of the park. That's what people like. They love seeing a ball hit out of the park, and I
Yeah,
think
I mean, that's
it will
cool. I mean,
do. Yeah, and when you're talking out of the park, it's almost 75 yards from where the batter is standing. So
well,
it's a huge hit.
let's kind of talk about the rules of the game just a little bit. Again, it's not something that I'm familiar with. So let's kind of talk about that. What does that mean when the ball goes out of the park?
6.
Like in baseball, it's a diamond. Yeah, you have a diamond field in baseball.
Okay.
In cricket, you have an oval,
Okay.
and you have a pitch where the batter is playing. The entire boundary of that oval is 75 yards.
Right.
So when the ball is hit in the air and it crosses the boundary, it's a 6. But you can also score a 4 if the ball is hit all around the ground. So there are two ways you can score the big scoring games.
Right.
And there are 2 bases in cricket, and the batter will hit. He can take a single 2. He can take single. He can take double runs. He can take three runs. He need not have to hit the ball all the time. He can leave the ball also if he wants to.
Yeah.
So it's
And
slightly different.
if we compare Ashok pitcher with the bowling, what do you think the speed between the balls in baseball as compared to cricket?
Well, I think with the T20 emerging, there are a lot of variations more than just the speed. Of course, the speeds go at I think around close to like 70 to 80 miles per hour. Some of them like 140, 150 kilometers, but on an average, you will find 130, 140 bowlers mostly, kilometers wise. But I think with the cricket emerging as a T20 fast-paced game, it's more than just one-dimensional. It's a lot of variation that you would see, and a lot of emphasis on fielding these days. You've never seen so much quality fielding on a cricket field that you see in the last 4 or 5 years. Every player that on the ground, you could be dropped just because you're not a good fielder. You could be best batsman, best bowler, but if you're not a good fielder, you don't fit for that format. So fielding has become a lot more important.
Just for Kimberly, we should explain to her, like in baseball, you have the batters, you have pitchers separate, and then you have fielders which are separate. In cricket, you have 11 players, and that 11 players will be they'll all play. All the 11 will play, and in that they will have a combination of batters, bowlers, and fielders. So all of them will field.
Yeah.
The cricket ball is harder. It's a leather ball, like you have in baseball. It's a little harder than the baseball.
Okay.
And the difference between fielding in baseball, you field with a glove. In cricket, it's bare hands.
Yes, that's true. That's a very valid point. Yeah.
That's why they say, there is a saying, the saying goes as, big men play cricket, the boys play baseball.
Wait, I have to say, you know what? The girls play baseball too. I prefer gloves because that ball stings. I don't care if it's hollow; it's gonna hurt when it hits, right? Does it sting? Like,
There's an art of fielding actually,
especially at 50 miles per hour, whack, right?
Yeah.
No, like he said, like Ankit said, there is an art of holding the ball and catching the ball. Yeah, sometimes you are not following this procedure because you just want to grab the ball at that point of time.
Right.
You do get injured, and you have swollen hands, but that's part of cricket. Everybody accepts it.
Big boys play ball, cricket, and boys play.
And also, Kimberly also
play baseball.
That's a gentleman's game basically, because when a batter starts batting and he's batting beautifully, it's like a gentleman. He's just playing the shots all across the ground. Down the ground and taking all the singles. And then when a batter play for around 6 to 8 hours, you'll see how they batted. I mean, they batted in that cold and humid and hot weather, and they just play the ball with the merit, and they just go along with the ball. So
Well, I'm
sometimes people
gonna
are
have to definitely watch a game, even though they're not playing new games. I will make a point this weekend to watch a cricket game so I can get a feel for it. I kind of grew up with baseball. It was a sport that even the girls were allowed to play. We weren't allowed to play football, so but we could, even though softball is more of the girls' sport. We were allowed to play baseball in the smaller towns. But anyway, it's interesting. It seems high energy, like you burn a lot of calories in cricket, right?
Yeah. You do burn a lot of calories, and women do play cricket too.
Oh, do
There
they?
are-
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
The girls' cricket is picking up. Yes.
Actually, to tell you the truth, when cricket was invented, when it started, it was a women's game. The women actually started cricket. It
Yeah.
was milkmaids in UK and in Netherlands. In those days, they used to have a triangular stool to sit on to milk the cows. So they just converted it and made them wickets, and that's how they started the game. So milkmaids in the 14th century put the game together.
Wow, there you go. See, women, we got something going for us anyway. What's interesting to me though is the talk about how this is in the USA, even though it kind of maybe really kind of originated here. But is it in the universities? Like, do
Yes.
you have probably the young kids that you teach, and then you have the high school, sports. Is it in the universities where like the kids can get the scholarship and things like that?
Right now, there are no scholarships, but there are universities like Columbia, New York, and you name them. They all play among themselves,
Okay.
but they still have to have the. When I used to hold coaching camps for kids, most of the parents would come up and ask me, "We love them to play this game, but is there a scholarship?"
Yep.
So right now there is no scholarships, but I think ICC is getting involved in that and trying to get schools and colleges together to build a scholarship.
Okay.
So we
No, and I think it needs to be, because I think every sport needs to be supported. And it shouldn't just be football, baseball, and rowing and volleyball. They all get scholarships. I think if a student is skilled enough to play any of the sports, they should get a scholarship. So
Absolutely.
Well, I don't know the entire. Sorry, I don't know the entire truth behind it, but I think the NCAA, the whole governing body of youth sports, right?
Mhm.
With NCAA, not cricket is not being part of it. Probably that's where a majority of the loss is for the youth. But if USA Cricket or one of the neutral bodies can think in that direction, probably it will bring in a lot of youth to engage in the sport.
Okay. Yeah, we're really gonna well, maybe we can get some games played on IBM TV. Maybe get some live streams going so we can all get back out to physical back together again outside of COVID. How do you foresee maybe being able to pick up cricket? I gather it's mostly a summer sport, but do you think is it played through the fall and things like that?
No,
Sorry,
actually,
was that at me?
anyway, any of us.
What's
Ashok,
this
go ahead.
cricket?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, no, go ahead. No, please. Yeah, no, it was breaking in between. No, I lost it. So
Okay, that's okay.
go ahead.
Well, I was
No.
just curious if it's what season is the primary for this sport. What's primary season?
In the US, it is in the summer, but all around the world, it's played 360 days.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, if like in England, it's not played in the winter because it's just too cold to play.
So,
But I would like to add one more thing that if you're in India, people are playing cricket 365 days, day and night. It's not about day only; they play at night.
Yeah.
So that is what it's all about.
That brings up a good point. Actually, in the Middle East, especially in Dubai, the night cricket is very famous. I'm sure Atul knows more about it. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the night cricket has a lot of heavy tournaments throughout the night, especially during the Ramadan season.
Wow.
Yes, no, but also in the summer when the temperatures used to be 110 Fahrenheit, we used to still play.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what I call swimming weather. So I'd rather be in the swimming. I'm more of an individual sport person. I like the team sports, but I was always an individual. Ice skater and swimming were my two, and snow skiing. But anyway, no, this is fun because this is something different. Even Nick is, saying, "Hey, let's get more cricket in here," because not many people really understand the game. Now we had a question: how do you, it says, "Hey, do you know the top 3 richest cricketers in the world? Who are the top 3 richest?"
So that's a question
Well,
from viewers.
that varies every year, of course, but most I would say whoever is majorly playing for Indian cricket or IPL got to be one of the richest, because that's where most of the earnings are. As far as the last knowledge goes, I think it was between Sachin Tendulkar and MS Dhoni to be the richest cricketer. But now Virat Kohli has been in 3 formats and IPL captain. I'm sure Virat Kohli must be earning more.
But so can we say that the top 3 cricketers, the richest cricketers come from India?
I don't hesitate to say that. Yeah, I don't hesitate to say that. Yeah,
we had a guest on our show a couple of days ago, Podcast Thursday, and she was from South Africa. Am I right?
Yeah.
And she shared with us her favorite cricketer. Person. Let's see if you know this person. Hold on. I think Ankit knew who it was, but this is her favorite. So Chris Gale.
Chris Gale, yeah.
So she just thinks he rocks. So I guess every country has their favorite favorite star in cricket, it sounds like.
So Atul, I'll tell you what's happening in IBM TV. Generally, when we have a person coming from a different country, we ask them 2 questions. Do you know who is Shah Rukh Khan? And the other question is, do you follow cricket? Most of the people don't know about cricket and they don't know about Shah Rukh Khan. So the girl from Jamaica, she knows about cricket and she knows about Shah Rukh Khan as well. So that's why we were a little shocked to see.
Well, I know about cricket, but who is Shah Rukh Khan?
Ooh, not good.
No, actually, I know who Shah Rukh Khan is, but I'm trying to show my love for cricket, because for me, Bollywood is not important.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I think cricket's a little more healthier, right?
Absolutely.
And I like sports that I can go out and watch the sport. I'm not a at-home sit on the couch sports fan. I do not do that well. If I watch anything, it's probably like the in-season games, like the World Series. I'll watch the end, but if I want to see the game, I want to be there, because you want to feel the excitement. You want to hear the ball crack and see the sweat, so to speak.
And the most important thing is, in sports, whichever sports you're playing, you don't get a take. In movies, you will get many takes before you get it perfectly right.
Oh, and they cut and edit. That's what I tell people. They cut and edit. We don't even do that on our show, right? We did no cut and editing. We are live all the way. Sports is the same way. Yeah, you don't get a retake.
yeah.
But that's what makes it fun and real, right? And it's not one of those sports where it's judged based on prejudice either, right? It is whether you win or lose. It's the game is played. A lot of times, I guess people blame referees and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's who got out there and won the most points or whatever, and that's what's great about it. And so the Olympics are being are they doing the postponement on this? Is that what I hear?
Yeah, the cricket is not played in the Olympics as yet, but the Olympics itself is going to get delayed, and we are supposed to have the World Cup,
the World Cup, right,
in October. So that's going to take place in Australia, At this point in time, we're not sure whether it will be held in October. Yeah.
Willie's there. We can get Willie.
It might get postponed.
TV.
We one of our board of advisors is from Australia, so we discuss about cricket, but we need more people to join and work towards a cricket show and a cricket channel on IBM TV. But also, I would like to know from Ashok and Atul that we would also like to discuss or share with our viewers when a cricket game plays in India or maybe somewhere in Eden Garden or maybe in Melbourne, MCG, what is the crowd attendance as compared to the sports in NFL and soccer?
Go ahead, Atul bhai. I'll join you. You start.
Well, in Australia, recently during the Women's World Cup, Australia and India were the two teams in the finals.
Yeah.
They had 90,000 spectators in the stadium.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that is amazing.
And India just built a stadium that is gonna. Yeah, India just built a new stadium that is gonna accommodate 110,000 people in stands.
Yeah, the new stadium. Yeah.
Yes.
Nick, did you hear that? Did you hear how bad? I know Nick's listening. This is the kind of data you want. It's like, should I invest in cricket? That's a lot. Can I ask you something? So, like, with baseball, the big food is hot dogs, right? You go to baseball to get a hot dog. What's the big food for cricket? You got to have a food.
Actually,
well, it all depends on the country, right? Yeah, there is nothing really specific. It depends on South Africa is big in cricket too. Like you were talking about the lady earlier, or in Australia, England, you go and fish and chips. In South Africa, I'm sure they got some curry flavors too. Yeah.
No, I was curious because that's the big thing when I go to a baseball game.
But can I tell you when yes, Atul, please go ahead.
In England, when England and Australia are playing, generally the top class will be drinking champagne.
Yes.
And the rest will be drinking beer.
That's the
so
PGA.
It's basically more drinks than
you go to the PGA tournament, right? Golf, you drink champagne and whiskey. But
there is one more aspect. When you watch cricket in India, a lot of people start their day at around 4 in the morning, and they don't eat and drink anything because if they go out, their seat, which they book it's gone.
Yeah.
So they have all the food in their pockets, and then whatever they can do it while watching the game, they can do that. If they don't have food, they will just watch the game.
Wow. And it starts at 4 in the morning?
Because we have to be a couple of hours before at the stadium so that there are a lot of security checks and a lot of things. And then once you move fast, you'll get a good seat.
So can I wear my PJs when I go? That's early. No, my son used to ride horses. My son is a horseback rider, and he was a state champion and international silver medalist. And we would start at 4 or 5 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. We were heading to get the horses, and we would literally be at the shows until 10 o'clock at night, just making sure the horses are okay. Then we go to bed and get back up and do it all over again. I get it. I do. I get it. And you know what's important though is as Ashok shared with us is this sport, and as Atul was saying, you're playing in all weathers. It doesn't matter how hot it gets. Is the hydration. This is something I watch time and again. Our horseback riders just pass out from dehydration. And I could not emphasize enough. I would bring just cases of water. I even got to where I brought a big, huge water cooler to the barns and to the shows because they weren't, they would just pass out from. So that's very important in your sport, isn't it?
Absolutely. In fact, one more thing I wanted to talk about is in Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa, in the stadium, they will have an area which has no bleachers. So people can come there, bring their barbecue sets, barbecue, and watch the game too.
So they let you barbecue? They don't let us do that on the soccer fields. We have open soccer fields like that but wow, that is cool. And kid, I want to do that. So when I come to India,
not in India. It's not in India. It's not in India. In India, it's difficult to get a seat.
Okay.
Okay, I'll tell you one more thing. Whenever there's a game in Delhi, so in Delhi, the stadium capacity is around 40,000 odd, basically.
Okay.
And people who buy tickets, they are standing outside because we have 45,000 VIPs sitting inside the game, inside the stadium. And people who bought tickets, they are standing out waiting for their turn to get inside the stadium. But there are a lot of VIPs in Delhi, especially in India. So they all get the VIP passes and they are watching the game.
Okay. Okay. So I want to go do some of that cooking out by the game. That sounds cool. We do tailgating for football.
One of the games in
you know that here in America we do tailgating and stuff, but not.
But that can be done in Caribbean because Caribbean, West Indies, they are big in cricket. They are the world champions earlier, and they are good in T20 as well now. And they have all sorts of things. Florida is also hosting a lot of international games now for West Indies. So we can go and go watch out at Florida as well whenever there's a game in Florida.
So you know what would be fun would be to go to the World Cup. That would be fun. That would be very, very fun.
Yes.
Or also maybe just go see a cricket game in every country. That would be kind of fun too. I mean, just to experience the different feel, the different foods, the different crowds. Because I find that everyone I speak with that knows cricket, they get real excited about it. And I just... I think that's interesting because, like Nick says, I never really heard much about cricket until we started this show, and I said, well, that's the difference between doing a national show versus an international, right? We get to talk to people who do things that aren't in America. This is what I said. But so some of the things that I want to understand, and maybe when we do our cricket show next week, we talk about the rules of engagement. Maybe get some PowerPoint up. And do some lessons for us newbies. Also, I have to ask this question, Kit, because I'm on the fantasy football show, right? Which might get canceled this year. But does cricket have fantasy cricket?
We have, but it's not.
It does. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it does.
Good.
So I'm playing fantasy cricket from past maybe 20-25 years. But I'm not sure it's that big as compared to US because there are different companies who are doing it. So, I mean, but I think that if we have a global fantasy cricket game with a big company, it will still work. There are a lot of followers who play it. I mean,
I was just thinking, it might be cool to get a fantasy cricket talk show going. Right?
Not only a fantasy cricket is there, but also e-cricket is there.
Yeah,
e-cricket. Okay, and see, I don't know what that is, but what we could do maybe get a talk show going, which we got a talk show going about cricket now, but maybe pick that up as well. But this is all like so interesting because it is so global. You don't see football in every country. You don't see. You might see baseball in a lot of countries, but and soccer's in almost every country. But cricket is everywhere. I had no idea. I just. It was so funny when we had the people from Africa on it. Oh, cricket! It's like, yeah. So I got a question to ask all of you guys. You remember tomorrow's Mother's Day, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Just want to make sure you guys
Happy
remember
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. Do the moms, are cricket moms as crazy as baseball and football moms?
Yes.
Are they? Because sport moms can be crazy, right? So cricket moms are crazy too, huh?
There are a lot of stories in moms, basically. I think Atul must be having more details. Yes.
About what?
About moms and cricket?
Yeah. In most of the games, you have the soccer moms or your baseball moms. In cricket, you have actually both the parents.
Yeah.
Cricket parents.
Yeah, you have the mothers who are crazy about cricket, and you have the father also. So it's.
So you got the cricket parents
running after the cricket parents.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, baseball moms and soccer moms and football moms, man, we some crazy women. But anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited about watching my first, because I've never watched a cricket game before, so I will watch it tonight. Any recommendations for an old game that you guys really liked? Anyone that?
So you share some game links.
Yeah, share me some game links, or send them to Ankit and he'll send them to me. This is my email. If anybody wants it, I will post it in private chat, not on live. But if you want to send me some links of a game or two that you guys thought was like, don't share that, Ankit. Please don't post that. But yeah, I meant to go to private chat. But it's exciting to talk about. Maybe we can build up on it and go to a big cricket game when this is over. I'm going to head up to New York to visit my son. I'll head over to New Jersey and definitely visit everyone and visit everyone while I'm up in New York.
So there was one of the success stories a couple of weeks ago. I was listening to her podcast. One of these younger girls, I think she's 15, 16 maybe, the USA female cricketer, Geetika. You're talking about the moms. I heard how much her parents, especially mom, had to do to make this girl an international cricketer at that early age. It's a years of dedication and sacrifice behind these kids. I'm sure as a soccer mom or with your son being involved in a sport, how it is.
Oh, it is. And what's devastating is when the universities don't support it, right? When they don't, they don't give you a scholarship for it. You spend thousands and thousands of dollars for a really good, skilled, talented athlete. Even people don't think a horseback rider is an athlete. They are. And let me tell you what, you control an 1,800-pound beast. That's what I tell people. It takes stronger legs than most Taekwondo people have. But I tell you, any athlete should be supported, and it shouldn't just be a particular set of sport programs. I think they all should be, because I think it takes a lot. It's not just fun. It takes a lot of dedication, a lot of work. And when you learn to play a sport like this and you've been coached, you become great coaches, right? When you have been part of a sport league and you've learned how to grow up into it, you become a good leader. You become a teacher in that sport, probably. So no, it's not great. I got a question though. Do they get paid as good in the more professional end of cricket? Do they get paid as good as, say, the NFL players do?
No, I think the NFL is still very, very good paymasters. Cricket is a little behind on that, but the Indian cricketers, they don't get paid that well, but the sponsorship deals they get for being ambassadors for their product is phenomenal.
No, okay. I'm always shocked at the amount of money people get paid in the.
But cricketers get a lot of, a lot of jobs and a lot of different sponsorships and a lot of different acts while be a cricketer and post cricket as well. Because coaching is one of them, broadcasting, commentating, teaching, and then a lot of things. And I think, as Atul said, that e-cricket is one of the, growing cricket shows, and also there are a lot of cricket games around on Gamers then as well. So there are a lot of things to be done by cricketers, and they get good payment, not in terms of NFL, but they have good amount of pay where they can live their livelihood in a good way.
Exactly.
So the example, Ankit, if I can add on to that, the example is some of the cricketers, especially nowadays in the domestic cricket, they live just on the cricket income.
Yeah.
They're making just based on cricket income. They play 2 months of cricket in IPL, and that's it. That's enough for them for the rest of the year.
But you know that they get good amount of money, and then they also play a lot of private leagues, and then also there's also, because cricket is now, it's not about a free game now. Whenever people go, they get paid out of it. I still remember when I used to play for NJ Cricket for my club Mavericks. But apart from the club cricket, I used to do umpiring for a lot of matches with Atul and with a lot of other leagues, and then I got to pay $100 a match. So people are earning like that only. It's good. I was enjoying cricket. I was on the stadium. I was with the players, and then I get paid as well. So it's like, apart from cricketers, we require a lot of other infrastructure. So we have umpires, Then we have a lot of referees, and then we have a lot of people who manage the logistics and things like that. And cricket, if you talk about cricket, when it's come professionally, we need a lot of people who support us as a team. So if you talk about that professional team, I think apart from cricket, like 20, 15, 20 players, they must be having 50 of support staff, which those people are helping them and making them ready for the game.
Right.
Cricket is, yeah, like.
No, I mean it's not. Everybody just thinks it's just the players a game. I mean, it's everything. You got to have people who maintain the fields. You got to have people who maintain the stadiums. If not stadiums, just maintain the whole area. You got to have parking. I don't know about India, but you got to have parking somewhere here in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So any sport that has a huge following, that becomes the big problem. So I'm excited that it's growing here in the U.S. I'm looking forward to not just watching my first game on TV, but maybe when things have opened up and I can head up north, I can attend a game with my two friends here, and
Well,
learn.
all that will be, you'll be welcome, but it all depends on Mr. COVID-19.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. COVID. So hear me out on this. We're coming up with solutions, and I foresee if we go to testing, we can get back to life. We just have to start testing. Even the White House is testing every day. So I think if we get to testing and we control it, keep the fire ups, like flare ups from. We can get back to life. You can go back to having a stadium game. You could go back to coaching the kids. You